This is the NewsFeed at noon.
A surprising decision to close down the child care center here on the Northeast campus. Have all the questions been answered? We'll bring you the latest. And Hurricane Milton has left devastation throughout Florida. Brian Abel is here with the latest. Thank you for joining us on the NewsFeed at noon. I'm Lauren Harper. Victor Aldana is talking about the aftermath of Hurricane Milton.
Good afternoon, Lauren. Let's take a quick look at Hurricane Milton. Those are our live images from our satellite as we monitor the storm through its course in the Gulf of Mexico on its way to Florida earlier this week. As we know, Hurricane Milton remained a Category 5 up until its landfall late Wednesday, early Thursday morning. Milton made its landfall just south of Tampa, becoming a Category 1 but still bringing dangerous winds up to 90 miles per hour and lots of rain. Some areas have reported up to 10 and 17 inches of rainfall, causing a lot of floods, power outages, and major damages to buildings. Later on, I will have more details about all the damages that Milton caused during its course through Florida as it exited into the Atlantic Ocean. I will also have, just in time for that Sunday's football game against the Lions, what we can expect for the weekend and the next 7 days.
Local families are scrambling to find childcare after TCC announced Tuesday that the Children's Center Laboratory School on the Northeast campus is shutting down. Today is the center's last day, just 2 weeks after it celebrated its 50th anniversary. A statement released by the district said the closure was due to a faculty-involved incident, reading, and I'm quoting here, "Some operations no longer aligned with the standards of respect, care, and professionalism the TCC demands." A Texas college student is speaking out after he says he was targeted by vandals who keyed a racial slur on his car. It's an incident that has rattled the campus at Texas State in San Marcos. Lysandro Mendez reports.
I don't know what to think about my future. I'm just worried.
Jermaine LaFang says he returned to campus last week to find his car vandalized.
At first, I didn't see the racial slur. On my door panel, it was just scribbles of circles, and I'm like, wow, somebody just vandalized my car.
But then
I go look around it even more, and then I go to the back, and I'm just like, wow, it's a racial slur.
LaFang says someone keyed the N-word onto his trunk.
I don't even have any words for it.
On Friday, Texas State released a statement on behalf of President Kelly Damphouse. In the statement's opening sentence, the university says it treats acts of racial bias and hate with zero tolerance. LaFang has since spoken to President Damphouse.
He's reached out to me. He said he'll pay for my car.
The university's chapter of the National Association for the Advancement of Colored People has shown up as support on LaFang's behalf.
Using us as a vessel to speak out for him and get him the justice that he deserves is really what's important.
NAACP chapter President Jordan Williams says it's important for students experiencing racism or injustice to stand their ground and use their voice.
Because they aren't going anywhere. And so we need to make our presence known here and know that we're here to stay.
Other students across campus have said hearing about what's happened to LaFang is concerning to them.
It worries me because if somebody's so hateful like that, where they can cause damage, who's to say they won't cause physical damage to somebody?
I've never really heard nothing happen here of that drastic, so I just really felt in that way like unsafe.
As for LaFang,
Boldly honest, I was thinking about transferring back to Houston, like maybe next semester.
A Plano man will spend the next 40 years in prison for a road rage shooting that nearly killed an Uber driver. The shooting happened shortly after Guillermo Martinez had dropped off a passenger. The Uber driver was at the intersection of West Parker and Rayner Road when he was shot multiple times. On Tuesday, 43-year-old Robert Crawley was sentenced to 40 years in prison. Parents of preschoolers in Spring, Texas are shocked to find out their children were allegedly given sleepy stickers by their teachers. The patches are sleep aids containing melatonin, among other ingredients, intended for adults. Matt Doherty talks to some of those parents and one of the students that came home with one of those patches.
What happened with the sticker?
The sticker makes me fall asleep.
This is 4-year-old Lane Luviano. She's the one that broke this case open in September when she snuck one of her sleepy stickers out of the classroom.
She kind of pulled up her little shorts and said, "Mom, look, this is my sleeping sticker." And I was like, "The what?"
When Lane's mom, Lisa, saw the sticker, she thought it was strange and asked her daughter about it.
And the teacher gives it to you, where she put it?
On my arm.
On your arm? Which part? Point to it. Right up there?
Yeah.
And what's it look like?
Sleeping with a moon on it.
Lane's dad says he's known something was wrong since school first started.
2 o'clock in the morning, I'm hearing the room, some noise in the room, and I'm going over there. She's still up.
And so she gives you the sticker. You put the sticker on, and it makes you tired.
Yeah.
Wow. And all the kids get them?
Yeah.
They never notified the parents.
So Lisa took matters into her own hands. She reached out to the other parents in Lane's class, sent them pictures of the patch to see if their kids were getting the stickers too.
I showed it to my 4-year-old, and she said, yes, that's the Sleepy sticker.
Melissa Guilford immediately went online to research the sticker.
Sleep Z patch. Okay, so, and if you read the ingredients on them, it has a lot of, it's just things I've never even heard of. And they're giving them drugs to make them sleep, to keep them quiet.
Najala Abdullah tells us she'd noticed changes in her son, who told her he'd been getting the stickers too. She says he'd been crying, stopped eating, and was bringing home lunches that he hadn't touched. The parents shared with us an email they received from Northgate Crossing Elementary's principal today. The email states 2 of the school's staff members were put on leave after they allegedly administered sleeping supplements to students on September 24th. The email also states the Spring ISD Police Department is investigating.
You think it could be a crime?
Most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely.
In San Antonio, a 1-year-old baby is recovering after he was severely attacked by multiple dogs. Heather Rodriguez has been arrested because she was supposed to be babysitting the child, but wasn't at the home during the attack. Officers say the woman had left the baby with her 13-year-old daughter. The dogs then forced their way into the room through a door they previously damaged. The girl then fled into a bathroom with the toddler. Then the canines forced themselves into the bathroom. The 13-year-old girl left the baby with the dogs while she called for help. She managed to get the baby back and barricaded herself into another room until help arrived. The toddler was rushed to the hospital with severe head and throat injuries. He's in critical condition but is expected to survive. A former Houston police officer convicted of murder in connection with a botched 2019 drug raid that killed 2 people learned his fate. A jury sentenced Gerald Goins to 60 years in prison. Pedro Yamacolan has the reaction on the sentence from both sides.
Gerald Goins held his emotions in check as the jury handed down a stiff sentence in his murder trial.
Department of Criminal Justice for 60 years.
In the courtroom, the family of Regina Nicholas and Dennis Tuttle felt a sense of relief. Patricia Nicholas spoke on behalf of Regina's mom, who was too ill to travel.
And all she could say was, thank you, God, that justice has been served, and my daughter and her husband is not corrupt like they said they were.
It has been 5 years and 9 months since Gerald Goins lied to obtain a no-knock warrant that led to a botched drug raid into the Nicholas and Tuttle home. The couple and their dog were killed. Getting to today was never certain, but Ryan Tuttle says worth every moment.
Justice is messy. Justice sometimes takes time. I think we hear about it in the media and movies, shows, but in the end, I have more faith than ever in our justice system, that there are people that are looking out.
Goins will have to serve at least 30 of the 60 years. At 61, it's a de facto life sentence. But his attorney says they're not giving up.
Filed our notice of appeal. We think we have some excellent appellate issues. We still don't believe legally that he is guilty of the crime of felony murder, and we look forward to having the appellate courts review this. We've initiated that process today.
For the prosecutors who took the trial, there was a satisfaction in the verdict. But one question, why did Goins initiate the web of lies, has never been answered.
Thankfully for us, we don't have to prove a motive. Didn't mean we didn't want to find a motive, but our question for this jury is who is responsible and not why, and they answered that pretty quickly.
Pedro Lama Colon reporting.
Thank you, Pedro. The mail-in ballot continues to be a hot-button topic in next month's election. A few states could bring a challenge to the outcome. Keep it here.
Owen, when you came into my life, it was a whirlwind.
I just can't do it.
We didn't know what the future would hold, but we knew you would always be a part of it. Adopting you was the best decision in our life. And I am so proud to call you my son.
Ahead of the November presidential election, Republicans are challenging all aspects of mail-in voting in battleground states. Mail-in and absentee voting reached new levels in 2020 during the pandemic. Now, a wave of lawsuits over the popular vote casting methods this year is laying the groundwork for potential challenges to the election's outcome. Swing states like North Carolina, Pennsylvania, Nevada, and Michigan are still seeing a high volume of mail-in and absentee voting. That has prompted multiple lawsuits from Republicans. They're challenging everything from whether mail-in ballot envelopes are properly sealed to whether they're postmarked correctly. Some Iranians are striking a defiant tone in the face of Israel's prompt retaliation. Fred Plegitt went to the streets of Thrin to see how people are responding.
After Iran's massive missile strike targeting military installations inside Israel's territory, Iran is now bracing for what the Israelis say will be a strong response. Whoa! On Tehran streets, some concern and a lot of defiance. Everyone's mind is busy thinking of what might happen, this man says, and if Israel makes a move, we will certainly respond to it. And this woman says, I am not concerned about war because I believe in my country and our leadership. I know if anything happens, nothing will threaten the Iranian nation. If there is a need to protect our soil and our land, like our fathers and brothers who participated in the 8-year war, we will go to war as well, this man says, and you will see the result of the jihad that has been ordered. If you want war, we are the masters of war, this poster in Revolution Square reads, both in Farsi and in Hebrew. Iran's capital is also plastered with billboards pledging to stand by Hezbollah after the killing of the group's longtime leader, Hassan Nasrallah.
The Islamic Republic of Iran and its leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, are making very clear that despite the current struggles of the Hezbollah organization, they will continue to support Hezbollah against Israel.
Israel's government has vowed to hit Iran hard after last week's missile attack when the Revolutionary Guard used around 200 ballistic missiles, some hitting Tel Aviv and an airbase inside the country, sparking fears of a wider conflict, possibly pitting the U.S. and Iran directly against one another. An Iranian member of parliament sending a warning to the U.S. The U.S. is aware of everything the Zionist regime does, he says. We would suggest that, firstly, the U.S. stop the military help, stop the arms and the backing of the Zionist regime, and then, secondly, for the U.S. to force Israel into a ceasefire. But so far, the risk of escalation continues in a region already on edge. Fred Pleitgen, CNN, Tehran.
TikTok is facing more legal pressure Tuesday. 14 states filed lawsuits claiming the social media platform harms children's mental health. The lawsuits allege that TikTok uses an addictive content recommendation system that puts profit over safety. They claim it's designed to keep minors on the app as long as possible. They cited TikTok's endless scrolling feed of content, challenge videos, and late-night push notifications disrupt sleep. The complaint also alleges that TikTok's so-called beauty filters can cause body image issues and other mental and physical health disorders. TikTok said it believes its platform is safe for children and that it offers safety features like screen time limits and optional parental oversight tools. After the break, Victor breaks down the weekend forecast and will tell us if the fall weather will ever make it our way.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you wanna talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad. Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Put a frog in a pot of boiling water and it'll jump right out. But put a frog in a pot of cool water and slowly heat it up, and that frog will boil. As veterans, we can tell ourselves the lie that it's easier to stay in that boiling water, to disconnect. But you've never been interested in easy. You are not a frog.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Good afternoon and welcome back to the newsfeed. Currently, we're seeing nice and clear skies with a temperature of 81 and a high of 89. Keep in mind, we do have a high pollen count today, so if you are prone to allergies, make sure to take all the necessary precautions. The air is also quite dry, so if you plan to be outside, remember to always stay hydrated. Looking throughout the Metroplex area, temperatures are staying pretty consistent in the low and mid 80s. As we move through the day, expect temperatures to hover in the high 80s, gradually cooling down into the evening. Winds will remain light, providing a pleasant feel as we head into the night. Around 10 p.m., we can expect a nice cool 75 degrees. Looking ahead to the weekend, we can expect more warm weather, both Saturday and Sunday. We can expect a high of 95 and as low as 62 degrees with nice and clear skies. Remember, if you have any outdoor activities planned for the Cowboys against the Detroit Lions on Sunday at 3:25, remember to stay cool, stay hydrated, and stay safe. In regards of Hurricane Milton making its landfall just south of Tampa, some of the damages that have been reported through its course has been a crane that fell onto the building that houses the Tampa Bay Times, along with multiple house fires, a lot of floods in the area from this storm as it made its exit out of Florida into the Atlantic Ocean. Looking ahead at our 7-day forecast, looks like temperatures will remain pretty consistent in the low 80s, mid 70s for the week. There on your screens, you can see nice and clear skies. Tuesday, Wednesday, possible cloudy skies. Most of the week staying in the mid 70s, high 70s for the week.
Milton, the third hurricane to hit Florida this year, has cut a path of devastation across Florida. The monster storm dumped record rain, devastating winds, and causing dozens of tornadoes to form. Brian Abel is in Orlando with the latest.
For the second time in as many weeks, a major hurricane slamming into Florida. Hurricane Milton making landfall near Siesta Key Wednesday night as a major Category 3 storm with catastrophic force. A once-in-a-thousand-year rain event transforming streets into rushing rivers. Gusting winds, downing trees, blowing transformers, and leaving millions in the dark.
We have an unprecedented number of our customers who are without power.
The roof of Tropicana Field, home to the Tampa Bay Rays, ripped open. The storm spawning dozens of tornadoes, including several in Port St. Lucie County, which damaged homes and which officials say proved deadly.
It unfortunately struck a retirement community that was mainly modular homes where we did have loss of life.
The National Weather Service also reporting the most tornado warnings ever in a single day in Florida. Search and rescue operations are underway across the impacted areas.
These aren't people who didn't heed the warning. These are individuals in areas where we've never seen flooding. Never seen flooding.
As Milton moves out into the Atlantic, officials now preparing to assess the damage, which is already projected to be one of the costliest storms on record. In Orlando, I'm Brian Abel reporting.
Temperatures are getting cooler, but that doesn't mean allergy season is quite over. Scientists say lingering warmer temperatures are causing the allergy season to start earlier and last longer. That, in turn, delays the first frost, giving plants that release allergens more time to grow. Other experts say higher levels of carbon dioxide in the atmosphere further drive plant growth, generating even more pollen. In the wake of Hurricane Helene and Milton, first responders and volunteers are trying to keep people safe from the danger. Sometimes dogs and cats need saving too. And Amy Keeley looks at some recent heartwarming and occasionally tear-jerking pet rescues.
Rescuers are saving pets as well as people from hurricane dangers in the southeast. In some cases, the heroes are first responders. This dog is lucky Florida troopers untied him from a fence as Hurricane Milton approached.
I don't blame you.
Animal shelters in northern states are also lending a helping paw by caring for dogs and cats who were in the path of Hurricanes Helene or Milton.
This is why we do the work we do, is because we want to help. We want to help pets. We want to help people.
I think it's just, a testament to each animal's resiliency to be able to take in change and be able to just kind of like pivot like this. Doc, let's go.
Volunteers are getting supplies for the whole family. for remote areas of North Carolina devastated from Hurricane Helene.
Pet supplies, cat food, dog food.
Sometimes the assistance goes the other way. Trained dogs help with search and rescue after disasters. And at the Emergency Operations Center in Tampa, the mayor says this cutie is boosting morale.
She's our stress reliever here.
Bulls fan. I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
The NFL season is a quarter of the way complete, and one team already makes a change at head coach Cameron's in Next Week with Sports.
We all know what it's like to feel alone. But it just takes one new connection.
Want to get out of here?
To empower many.
This is unbelievable.
It doesn't take a superhero to bring forces together. We all have the power to reach out.
Let's go!
And help someone feel like they belong.
Pretty cool, huh?
We are stronger together.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat apples and bananas?
Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Even the mighty might not see it coming. It's prediabetes, and it captures 1 in 3 adults. But you can escape. Take the 1-minute prediabetes risk test to know where you stand and prevent or delay type 2 diabetes. Be your own hero on smartphones everywhere at doihaveprediabetes.org.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver. And we dedicate a lot of our time to going as fast as possible. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently, experiencing problems with their memory, or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services, make a plan for the future, and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together.
We start with Major League Baseball, where both New York clubs secured their spot in the championship series. The Mets await the winner of tonight's game between the San Diego Padres and the LA Dodgers, while the Detroit Tigers take on the Cleveland Guardians Saturday for the final spot in the ALCS to face the Yankees. The WNBA final started with a barn burner as another New York team took the court. The Liberty, who defeated last year's championship Las Vegas Aces, were bested last night in overtime. The Minnesota Lynx scratched their way back from 18 points down in the last 5 seconds of regulation. They take a 1-0 lead by securing the victory in overtime. Game 2 is Sunday at 2. In the NHL, the Stars took the ice to begin their season. They defeated the Nashville Predators with a score of 4-3. We look forward to good things this season as they take on the New York Islanders. The New York Jets are parting ways with head coach Robert Saleh following last weekend's loss to the Minnesota Vikings. Saleh had an overall record of 20 wins and 36 losses in the regular season. He never took the Jets to the playoffs during his 3+ seasons. Defensive coordinator Jeff Ulbrich will reportedly succeed Saleh as interim head coach. The Jets' next game is hosting the Buffalo Bills Monday night. History was made at last Sunday's preseason game between the Los Angeles Lakers and the Phoenix Suns. LeBron James and his son Bronny became the first father-son duo to play together on an NBA team, but only for about 4 minutes. The 20-year-old took the court with the name James Jr. on his jersey. The younger James was selected by Los Angeles with the 55th overall pick in June at the 2024 draft.
The newsfeed will be back after the break.
All right, I'm in the house.
Okay, what do you see?
Nothing yet. Hold on, I think I just heard something. I'm heading upstairs.
Okay, I am almost there.
I'm in the bedroom.
Okay.
Oh, shit. It's not here.
What?
The gun's not here.
What do you mean? Where is it?
Cameron, are you in there? Open the door. Cam! Come on, Cameron.
Owen, when you came into my life, it was a whirlwind.
I just can't do it.
We didn't know what the future would hold, but we knew you would always be a part of it. Adopting you was the best decision in our life. And I am so proud to call you my son.
Need a ride? Yeah!
Driving with kids is a big responsibility.
Hop in and buckle up!
So don't sweat the small stuff.
You got paint all over our paper!
Get the big stuff right instead.
What does that mean?
Like making sure your kids are in the correct car seat and buckled up for safer travel.
That deserves a wiggly wiggly wig.
To make sure your child is in the right seat for their age and size, visit nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Beep, beep. Yeah.
Julie was always a voracious reader. She'd carry 2 novels on an airplane because she'd read one on a 3-4 hour ride. And at some point, I began to notice that she would read a page and couldn't remember what she had just read, and she'd have to go back and read it again.
I don't remember much these days after I read, but less does for me, and I love it.
When a big album anniversary comes up, most bands remaster the disc with the highest tech possible. Green Day went another way. David Daniels has that and more in today's Hollywood Minute.
For the 30th anniversary of Dookie, Green Day demastered the album.
Do you have the time to listen to me whine?
Yes, demastered, releasing each track on a different, unusual format. From When I Come Around on an old-fashioned wax cylinder, to Basket Case on a big mouth Billy Bass.
Sometimes I give myself the creeps.
You can hear all 15 formats, and through Friday morning, enter a drawing to buy one at dookiedemastered.com.
Will you marry me?
Seriously?
Seriously.
3 carrots.
What about 4?
Here's your latest look at Sean Baker's Honora, which won the Palme d'Or at this year's Cannes Film Festival. Mikey Madison plays a Brooklyn sex worker who marries the son of a Russian billionaire, and neither family approves. Honora opens in New York and Los Angeles October 18th. In Hollywood, I'm David Daniel.
You're looking at a rare pastel painting by Claude Monet that has a remarkable journey. A couple in Austria bought the piece titled Bord de Mer in 1936. Then they stored it in a shipping warehouse to send to themselves when they fled the Nazi regime 2 years later. But Hitler's Gestapo seized it and it vanished. The painting finally resurfaced in 2016 and an exhibit in France, and a Louisiana antique dealer bought it and sold it to a couple in Washington state. They listed it for sale in Houston but surrendered it to the FBI after learning it had been stolen. Wednesday, the $500,000 painting was finally handed over to the Austrians couple's granddaughters.
Hey, so Lauren, do you have any plans for this weekend?
I'm excited. I'm excited for the Dallas and the Lions game. I am a big Dallas Cowboys fan. I have been my whole life. So.
Well, that's good because I have a little bit invested in the Detroit Lions because I've been a fan the whole time.
Okay,
too.
all right, we'll see.
So,
well, thank you for watching the Newsfeed at noon. We'll see you this time next week. Have a great rest of your weekend.